Peace be upon you, and it's your host Fadila. Welcome back to Books and Coffee. We have a very special guest joining today's episode. If you've not grabbed your cup of coffee, do so right away and snuggle into a comfortable position. Our guest today is Firdaus Muhammad, popularly known as Jannah. Firdaus is a talented author known for her work on platforms like Wattpad and Okada Books. She has completed 18 books and currently has an ongoing story on Wattpad. Welcome, Firdaus, to Books and Coffee podcast. How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm good,
And
Alhamdulillah.
mashallah, what word would you best describe the way you're currently feeling?
Almost surprised, and because I'm feeling like one celebrity like this. I've been a mini celebrity, and I'm actually
Oh,
grateful that you deem me worthy to be invited. So yeah, Alhamdulillah.
mashallah. Let's start our conversation by diving into your journey as an author on these platforms. I would start with the
Okay.
question: what inspired you to share your work on Wattpad and Okada Books?
I think it mostly has to do with the fact that I've always been a writer for as long as I can remember. But like when I was young, especially when I was in JS class, I would like get a ton of papers and then I would like make it a small book, kind of like a DIY book kind of thing. And then I would share it with my friends and they'll be like, oh, this book is really good and stuff like that. And then I was speaking to one of my sisters. I think it dates back to December 2019, and she was now telling me, oh yeah, there's this platform. Originally, she didn't even know I was going there to Russia. She was just telling me that, oh, there's this platform that you can read books. It's called Wattpad. You can just create an account and stuff like that. I was like, okay, fine. But I knew that I was there more of as a writer than a reader. Even though I didn't tell her that, I was like, okay, fine, let me just join Wattpad. And I felt like, oh, okay, since people actually love my other books, why don't I just share it on Wattpad? And I did well. Like I started publishing a few books there, but I took it down. I don't think anyone knows that. I was like publishing very stupid books, and then I would take it down because I was embarrassed. Eh? Like, where should I leave it? So I just like played around. I messed around with Wattpad for a while before I finally decide, okay, let me just settle on one book. And I like, okay, fine, let me just publish this book. So I think it mostly has to do with the fact that I've been sharing my books with my friends back then, and they've given me good reviews. So I thought, okay, maybe let me just try it, writing publicly.
Interesting. So, how has being part of this online writing community or communities, how has it influenced your writing or like your career as an author? How has it influenced your writing style?
It has influenced it greatly, actually, because without Wattpad, I don't think I would still be a writer right now. I have been writing on Wattpad for over 4 years, yeah. So if it wasn't for Wattpad, I think I would have dropped the whole writing thing like years ago. I would have just grown out of that phase. But I actually have to, should I say the passion? I have the passion for writing. And since I started writing on Wattpad and I've been getting good reviews, I feel like, okay, I can actually be a writer. Like, I can take this writing thing seriously. So I think right now I consider writing more of as a part-time job hacker. Like I can just juggle it along with university work and stuff like that. And I still feel like, okay, I can do this. And I'm actually doing it. But had it been I didn't like get good reviews when I started, I was like, let me just say I suffered with my 100 views or something. I would have quit long ago.
Okay. So, what has been your experience with engaging with readers and receiving feedback online? Are there any like memorable feedbacks that you've gotten or like interaction with your readers that has had a positive impact on your writing?
Actually, yes, quite a lot. Because if I'm being honest, 99.98, I will not say 100%, but 99.98% of my readers, I honestly consider them family. Because I'm the kind of person that doesn't even have friends in real life. My friends in real life cannot pass in real life. So, but then now if you check my contacts, to be very honest, I think like 50% of my contacts are people that I've met because of Wattpad, and I've never met them before in my life. And yet these are the people that I consider to be my friends. So the readers that I have, I consider them my family and I consider them friends of mine as well. Because I have this support. Like I have never, ever imagined that kind of support in my life. And sometimes it just feels overwhelming, like, Inna lillahi, am I the one that is getting this much love? How can they love someone that they have never met before? There's this kind of feeling that sometimes it just feels surreal. And then I think made it even more real was when I joined university and I met a couple of people, and they're like, "So you are Jannah Mia?" And then I'm like, "Oh God!" So, my readers are actually real life people. Like they are not just accounts I'm seeing on social media. So yeah, I think I actually have a very good relationship with most, not all, most of my readers, and I genuinely love the relationship we have because honestly, they are more of friends and family to me, like I said, rather than just readers.
So which feedback like stuck with you, Abby, has been sticking with you?
Well, honestly, but there are a lot of feedbacks that just stick with me, so I cannot pick one because let me not say like every day, let me say like every month or something, but then every once in a while, there's always this one or two readers that you see they will just drop like a very, very impactful message for you, and it's honestly hard to pick one. I cannot say that this is the one that I picked the most. Somebody wallahi, like almost every day you're just getting more reviews and stuff. So I can't just say, okay, this is the one that I picked. There are so much. I cannot even pick one, honestly.
So considering your large readership, what kind of recognition has your work gotten on like these platforms like Okada Books, Wattpad?
I don't know. You know what, but it's just like a place where there are a lot of authors. There are a lot of talented authors as well. So you cannot just like stick out. Maybe perhaps to your kind of like your audience, you may stick out there. But I feel like everyone is pretty much normal there, and there's always like someone that is better than you. So you can't say that, oh, I am the one person that owns this space or something like that. But I think on Wakanda books, I've made it to best-selling list quite a lot. I mean, currently, due to the book that I published last night, I'm currently like the number one best-selling book, I mean, number one best-selling writer on Wakanda books at this moment, and my book is like the best-selling book there. So I think I've gotten a lot of that because of most of my books, and yeah, I just that's pretty much it.
So many authors on Wattpad, they eventually transition to either traditional publishing or self-publishing. Can you tell
Mm.
us maybe about your journey in this aspect, or if you are planning on going on this path?
Actually, yes, it has always been a dream of mine to become a published author, and I'm currently processing publishing a book. I think I have made this announcement since March, but honestly, I wanted to publish this book of mine, Beaumont, but then I had an editor back then, and the editor did a very shitty job. Pardon my language, and I just like had to give up on the book, and I moved on to another book. Like they ruined it beyond repair. I wouldn't exactly say beyond repair. Like I still have my old draft. I can still go back to it, but they've ruined it in such a way that I don't even want to go back to the book. So I just picked another book of mine, Gyo Kusum, and I decided, okay, this is the book that I'm going to publish, and I'm going to like self-publish. So currently, I am done editing the book. As of this moment, I'm done editing the book. I'm just waiting to get in contact with my publisher, and then I don't know how it's going to be, but if all goes well, inshallah, before December, I would have my paperback version of Dear Kusum, an edited version actually, like an even better version that there is on Wattpad. And I really look forward to being a self-published author and hopefully a traditional published author sometime in the future, anyways. But as of right now, I'm going to be a self-published author, inshallah.
Inshallah, we all look forward to it. We'll buy
I
bento
hope so.
cakes.
I hope so because people will embarrass you like this. You will just do something and they will embarrass you. I'm speaking from experience. Stop.
So, can you walk us through your typical writing process? How do you approach creating and sharing your stories online, like from start to finish?
Let me just laugh because
That
I
laugh.
don't think I don't think I have like a particular set of steps that I go like I just work with. I'm a very impulsive person. I can start a book from simply having a book name. I will not have the book idea. Oh. Like I will not have the idea. I will not have anything. All I have is just a book name and let's say a cover, and I'll be like, okay, yes, I want to write a book. Mind you, I won't even know the name of the characters. I will just be like, oh, I want to write a book, and then I'll just mess around, find make a playlist for the book, and I will listen to the songs and just pick up on the name, and the ideas will just come, and then okay, I'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm going to start writing now, and I'll just write like one chapter, haka, and then I'll ditch it for like a few months sometimes. But if I'm actually feeling the vibes, I would like continue to write. It mostly depends on the time that I have actually. I grew up in a home where we don't go out. Like we are always, always, always at home. You don't go anywhere. You can spend months at home without even going to the gate. So it's always like, oh, I'm always stuck in my room and I'm always writing. And I don't have anything to do. Like I told you before, I don't have friends. So oh, my friends in real life no pass to, like I told you. So it's always, I'm always in my room and I have absolutely nothing to do other than watch K dramas, watch TVs and stuff. So like most of the time, rather than to just waste it away, I just use the time to write. I think that's the reason why I write a lot, that is. I think I write the most at night. I don't write, I write during the day and morning and stuff, but I write the most at night. Like you will see me start writing at 2 in the morning and you wonder, is this one a witch or something? I don't have like another step or whatever, a planned step or whatever. Like I said, I'm a very impulsive person. I cannot write
Mm.
for months and I'll just decide, oh, I want to write now. And I'll decide to write at 3 in the morning. Stuff like that happen. So yeah.
As an author on these platforms, like what challenges have you faced? What challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them?
Well, I think the number one challenge that I've faced, at first it was, trying to like create an image for myself in this very big platform where there are a lot of talented writers out there. And I remember when I completed my first book, I only had about, I think, 300 views or something. And back then, let me know if you lie. At the time, I used to like take my sister's phone. I think I had like 5 votes in the beginning, and even that 5 votes came from me. And then I'll take my sister's phone and I'll go and vote on my book so that I will have votes because nobody knew me. I didn't have anyone. I didn't know anyone that would be like, oh, let me guide you through the step, or let me help you gain readers. Let me just like give you a shout out and stuff. So I'll just like take my friend's phone and I'll go and vote on my books and stuff like that. So I think that the very first obstacle that I faced was, trying to like I said, grow an audience for myself. And back then, that was I think early 2020 or 2019. I'm not even sure. I think 2019. I went to like a lot of writers' DMs and then I'll go and be like, oh, you know that typical thing. I don't know if you know this, but on Wattpad there's this thing that new authors tend to do. They just go to a person's DM and they'll be like, oh, please check out my book and stuff like that. I did
Mm,
that
mm.
too. Like I did that too. If in fact I'm even embarrassed by some of the things that I've said, but I was just gonna be like, oh please read my book, please, I mean, just give it a chance. So I did that a lot. And some of them would be like, Allah Barasa, oh, please, Allah Barasa. They would just like ignore me. And then others would be like, oh, let me just give you a piece of advice. Just don't give up. They'll just tell me that, don't give up. And I'll be like, okay, fine. And then I met this woman. God bless her soul. I don't think I'll ever forget her. Her name is Halima Idris. She's still a writer on Wattpad, but not really that much. I think even back then she wasn't that popular as well, but she was one of the readers that I looked up to because when you start writing on Wattpad, there's this thing that when you see other writers, because you're not used to the system and stuff, you see someone with let's say 30,000 views and you think, oh my, this one has a lot of views. And then you'll be like, this one is a celebrity. Make her just make her better take up her saying that I was like, stuff like that. So
Mm.
I talked to her. I was like, oh, please check out my book. And she was literally the first writer. I think that's the reason why I can't forget her. She's the first writer that actually gave my book a chance, even though I know that book is shitty. Even if you ask me to read now, I'll not read it all. I will not even ask anyone to read that book. But she still did. And in her own little way, she like gave me a shout out on her book as well. And I think that was the first way that I started to like gain readers for myself. So when I completed my first book, only had like 300 views. I was like, oh yeah, it's good. It's really good. I was really happy then. So I wrote my second book, and Alhamdulillah, with the help of the other readers I got from the other book, and with me trying to, like constantly trying to advertise my book and stuff, I completed the book with over 11,000 views, which is quite a lot. With the third book, I completed with about 20,000 views, I think. And then came like the blockbuster, should I say, or whatever, like the Oga at the top, hang 99 days. That was my fourth book. And that book, surprisingly, it gained over 200,000 views. And I think that's like literally the stepping stone for me. Because ever since that book, everything that I've written so far, Alhamdulillah, turned out to be a success, even though it hasn't like been up to that level. But then like Alhamdulillah, gaskiya, I get a lot of readers and I get a lot of new readers as well. So I think that that's one of the major problems that I had, trying to grow audience for myself. And then on the other hand, there's, issue of people, certain readers that aren't like the nicest as well. So, there are always people like that anyways. But Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Before we continue the episode, I have an exciting announcement to make. Our sponsor, Rahima Udushote, who is the founder of Impactful You, a professional training and coaching company specialized in book coaching, women's personal development, and book publication and marketing on Amazon and other platforms, has partnered with us to bring you a fantastic giveaway. One lucky listener will have the chance to win a copy of Rahima's book, Taken for Granted, and here's how you can enter. Listen carefully to this. To enter the giveaway, you have to answer this question. What's the title of the episode where I said the way the ladies on this book are staring at somebody? Email us your answer at booksandcoffeepodcast@gmail.com with the subject line giveaway entry. Please include your answers in the body of your email when submitting your entry. This giveaway is open to residents of Nigeria only. You have from today, 12th November 2023 until 24th November 2023 to submit your entry. Make sure to get your emails in before 12 a.m. West African time. You definitely don't want to miss out on this grand opportunity to add Taken for Granted to your collection of books. The winner of the giveaway will receive an email a week after the deadline, and note that the winner bears the shipping cost of the book to their location. I can't wait to see who wins this giveaway. Good luck, and happy listening. You can continue listening now. So now, how do you promote your books? Like some readers now, I know some readers might have come to you for advice on how to build like their readership and all on platforms like Wattpad. So how do you promote your books on Wattpad or maybe your Kara books or wherever you promote the books? How do you do it?
For Wattpad, this wasn't what I did back then. Back then I just like winged it. I was just like, oh, let me just keep on writing and stuff. I have a few readers, so it would just work out. And it worked out pretty well actually. But then I eventually realized that if you actually want to grow, you need to advertise your book more. And this is where the issue of using TikToks and Instagrams help quite a lot. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but on my page, on my Instagram page, I make a lot of trailers, reels, whatever and whatever. Exactly. So that helps quite a lot because I don't know if you look at like Bookstagram, you realize a lot of these famous authors, they have people there making reels about their books, so like get snippets of the books, they'll make character aesthetics and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, why can't we do that for Arewa writing and stuff like that? Why can't we just do that? We have the means, we can do it ourselves. I make a lot of mood boards, character aesthetics, I make videos for reels and stuff like that. So I post them on TikTok and I post them on Instagram as well. And honestly, that helps quite a lot when getting a lot of readers. Because someone can just be scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and then they'll come across your video and they'll be like, oh, this one looks, let me check this book. This one looks like, let me just check the book. So I think that's like one thing that you need to hold on to if you want to promote your books on Wattpad. You need to hold on to like promoting on social media platforms. You need to make good aesthetics. You need to make good videos and stuff like that. And as for Okada books, I would give you this advice. I always say this all the time. Whenever I see new readers publish their books on Okada books, there's something about Okada books. Okada books do not promote your books. You don't get new readers from Okada books, so you get you use like the same readers that you have on Wattpad. You know, you cannot just go to Okada books without any readers, and then you're like, oh, I want to publish your book and earn money. So you need to have like readers if you actually want to have people that will buy your book. If you want to make money on Okada books, you need to grow your reader base on Wattpad, and then when you feel like, oh yeah, I have a lot of readers that are willing to buy my book, you now go to Okada books. And even then, please, depending on your reader base, you should know when to how to set your price. So yeah.
So would love to hear about your favorite book and your favorite coffee, if you take coffee.
My favorite book amongst the ones that I've written or other people's books?
It could be from the ones you've written, the ones you've read, anyone.
I'm not really much of a reader at this moment, honestly. I don't know if you realize this, but I'm in university, and university is showing me shege. Every once in a while, I'll just like check books out. And this might sound selfish, but obviously my favorite book has to be from my writer friend Aisha. It has to be. It has to be. She wrote a book and dedicated it to me, yours, Jannah. So I'll be very honest with you. That's like my favorite book because she wrote a book to me. Let me feel myself small. I have to love the book. And I've coffee. I don't take coffee honestly. I don't like have a favorite coffee and stuff. I didn't think you ask my favorite drink. I'll say Pepsi, like with my foot says. I'll say Pepsi. But I don't take coffee.
Now it's time for the game. Now take a few minutes to play this quick game. So the game goes like this. Okay. When I say a word, You reply with the first word that comes to your head. Are you ready?
What? Oh, my brain is so braining already. Busha, let's go.
Author.
Me,
Wattpad.
I should.
Jannah.
Mia.
Coffee.
I don't take coffee. I don't
Laptop.
know. HP.
Reading.
Book.
Audiobook.
I don't know.
Bookmark.
My brain is not braining. No word is coming to my head. Oh.
Money.
Sapa. Sapa.
So that would be it for the game. Can you give
So,
us a sneak peek into your current and upcoming project? Like, what can your
mm,
readers or our listeners look forward to?
I just completed a book yesterday actually, from Soul with Love, and I have a few books. I have like two books that I want to work on, but I'm not sure if I'm going to work on it this year. I think one, and everyone knows it, that is Queen of Spades, but I don't know. I'm not feeling the book actually, so instead, let me just tell you about the other book that I think only the people in my close circle know about. It's a real book, and it's titled The Riddle of Us. I don't know when I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to write it this year or next year. But Omo, I'm going to bring the drama in that book. Eh? It's going to be a real book. There's going to be my usual type of drama in it. I know I gave you guys a soft book with from Soul with Love, but that was very soft. I didn't even stress myself to write anything wicked. But I'm going to be wicked in this book. You guys are going to cry premium tears. You should come prepare. Please, if you are going to read that book, well, I could hold tissue. You could just come with your tissue box and then prepare to get your heart broken because I'm going to be wicked. I'm going to unleash all my wickedness. That's just it.
So, what advice would you give to aspiring authors that are looking to share their works on, platforms like maybe Wattpad or other platforms?
I think I'm going to give them the same advice that was given to me, and an advice that I held on to actually quite a lot, and that is to never give up. I have met a lot of aspiring writers that I can actually relate to, even if perhaps they will not believe it. And then they will be like, "Oh, I just started writing a book. I don't have a lot of readers, and I'm not motivated because of it, and I don't feel like writing anymore. I just want to give up and stuff." I'll be very honest with you. Literally, everyone goes through that. And sometimes when I have these readers that are telling me, "Oh, I don't have readers," and it's not really motivated, and I'll check their pages and I'll say like, they have like over 1,000 views, or let's say 2,000 views or 3,000 views on their first book. I'll be like, excuse me, please. When I finished my first book, I only had 300, and I continued. You're telling me you don't have motivation? So what I'm going to say is, you should not give up. Honestly, I think we all start like that. I don't think there's ever a writer on Wattpad that just miraculously got like a million reads or 100,000 reads or 10,000 reads or 1,000 reads in just like a week or something. There are probably, but most of us we have to like try quite a lot. I mean, I have 18 books and I'm still like not the most popular writer out there. So you should not give up. Honestly, you should not in the slightest. You should just keep on writing, especially if you have the passion for it. Do not ever give up, and keep on advertising, please. You need to advertise your work because you cannot go to places if you don't advertise. So share it with other writers. Mm, promote it on your page, share it with your friends and stuff like that. But most importantly, like I said, do not give up. If you are doing it for the money, do not go to academics at first. Oh. You waste your time.
Tell us a
A
bit
very
about your podcast.
When I started podcast Jannah, I have never, ever, ever, ever listened to a single podcast. I had zero interest in podcasts. It was just an impulsive decision, honestly. I just said, oh, okay, so people are actually doing this podcast. Let me start a podcast as well. Yeah, the podcast, yeah, I can do it now. Make I just start a podcast as well. So I started a podcast, which is like I said, a very impulsive decision. And honestly, when I started the podcast, and up till now, honestly, it's not really about me trying to become popular or anything. I'm just like doing it. I needed a ranting space, to be honest. I just wanted a ranting space where I can just share my feelings with the people close to me and stuff like that. So I don't exactly do much to promote it because like I said, I'm not doing it for the fame or anything. I'm just like randomly doing it. But Alhamdulillah, I have been getting a lot of reviews, like not like a million reviews or 1,000 reviews or 100 reviews or anything, but I've been getting really good reviews about the whole thing, and it just makes me feel good that okay, I'm actually doing something good here. I'm actually doing something impactful. I'm doing something that people can relate to, and if I'm very very honest, it has made me a better person as well. Even though recently I there's something that I encountered on the podcast. I haven't exactly told this to anyone, but there's something that I encountered on the podcast. It was on the last episode of the podcast. I don't know if you listen to the podcast where it's about like self reflection and stuff. And I have this automatic Q&A on the podcast thing. I turned it off after the comment anyways. But I have this automatic Q&A, so people will just like drop comments and stuff like that. And because I use Spotify for podcasters, if you like drop a comment on a podcast, like it's not public, people will not see it. I'll be the first one to see it. And then if I want to share with the people, I can just share it and stuff like that. And I just got an email that someone left a comment on your podcast. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, let me go and check it. I was really excited because, like I said, I've been getting really good reviews. And I got this message that has been stuck in my mind for days. It was an anonymous name, so I didn't know who it was, but she left a message, like I said, that stuck with me. And she was like, I don't know what I did to her, honestly, but she said that I did something to her. She said that I did something to her, and she will not forgive me and whatever. And I don't know. I've been looking for the girl. Like I want to know what did I do? Because wallahi, like this kind of things are scary. When someone will just out of the blue come to you and they'll be like, "Oh, you've done something to me, and I do not forgive you."
Mm.
It's honestly scary and stuff like that. I don't know if she listens to this. So if she's listened to this, if you're listening to this, I don't know what I did to you, but wallahi, I'm sorry. I genuinely am. Because honestly, like I said, I was really scared because of the message. I was like, I cannot be living peacefully and I will get like that kind of message. Please, I'm so sorry, honestly. In a nutshell, because of the podcast, I have, realized something that I probably wouldn't have ever found out. And like I said, I'm aiming to become a better person because of the podcast. So, yeah, I really hope that it will help me, become a better person.
So before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share or any message you'd like to convey to our audience?
Thank you guys for like tuning in for this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for like giving the entire thing a chance. And I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun listening to us and stuff. I know myself, my sense sometimes is just more like this, eh? But thank you anyways for listening. So yeah, I think that's all I can say. And also thank you for
Okay,
inviting me.
it's my pleasure. Thank you for joining also. That would be it, guys. Check out Firdaus's Instagram through the link beneath this episode, both on the poll below. Don't forget to
Uh,
follow or subscribe to our show and also follow
you
us
better
on
follow. If you
Instagram
don't follow, I'll follow you to Instagram. I'll disturb you guys. Because I cannot be
and,
talking like this and you don't follow her now. Huh?
and follow
I
us on
support her.
Instagram at Books and
Follow.
Coffee
Couldn't
Podcast.
follow.
Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.